Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a squat day. So a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. So I was going to mess with the safety bar, and I ultimately said, you know, let's just work on just straight high bar squats. Let's just ramp up, get the best max that we can, run the 5-3-1, do it high bar, and if my elbows or anything are slightly bothered by it, and it was just slightly bothered today, I can do my rep work with the safety bar, right? Build the same muscles up. And that's what I decided to do. Now, the first set I really struggled with depth. Again, keep in mind, guys, I have shown side views so far over on my page from some of these sets for people who are like, oh, it might be a little high. No, I just need to break below parallel. It seemed to be meet legal. Now, I will adjust stances and stuff over time to get that where I want it. And with the first couple sets here, I was struggling to open up the hips. And if I don't open up those hips, again, I got to get used to this style of squatting again. If I don't open up those hips, I will miss depth. If I open them up, I can break depth. And again, I'll work with some more footage later from the side, because again, it comes into question. And people forget I've not been red lighted in meet for depths, right? I always get passed on depth. I've missed lifts, but they still, for technical rules, or flat got stapled, but it hasn't been for depth. And I'm using a very similar style right now to what I used at my last meet, right? That last Nationals of the UK. So I'm just going to build up high bar. Again, I've got to get used to finding everything making it work where I want it. And I'm just going to brute strength my way through this. Instead of chasing leverages, I'm just going to build all the musculature up. And I'm looking at this set, and as a coach, and any of you who are coaches, you already spotted my weak link on that. You guys can already tell my adductors. My adductors needed a little more work, right, to do this style. So what I'm going to do is go slightly wider than this stance on the belt squat, which is a main hypertrophy tool. And we're going to work on, again, so being able to open those hips up, because really my adductors are fighting me a little bit there of getting those hips open, and I may need to adjust the stance a little more. I'm built in a way that lets me use whatever squat style I want. I could very well do something crazy like Dan Bell does later and bring that stance in and turn those knees out if I need to, right? And that's just to get the depth and then use all that tightness I have to pop out of the bottom. I also need to ramp my plyometric work up. That's going to help me a lot here, as I started working the sled drags back in, started working a little bit of plyos back in, now that I've taken the speed work out, and we'll use that. And that's going to help me a lot with that too. But I'm not going to worry about cutting range of motion with a wide stance. I'm just not. I'm going to just build the musculature and brute strength my way to national records. Right? That is what I'm going to do. I will probably walk in and high bar squat. Right? That's what I'm going to do, because it's easier for me to get more training volume in. It's easier on my hips. It's easier on my shoulders. And if I can get the most training volume in and get stronger that way, I'll be fine. Again, as far as getting leverages go, I just need to get the hips open, which again, it's going to take a little practice. All right, for my first accessory work after doing that 3x10, because I'm getting fatigued real quick on this stuff. Again, some of it's diet, a lot of things going on. Plus, I just competed at a deadlift event this weekend, and I missed a 635 deadlift. It took a little out of me. So volume's a little touch and go this week. And I've got to be aware of that from a recovery. So these first two supplemental lifts, I only did 3 sets of 10. The safety bar squats, we did 3 sets. The 45 degree hypers, man, these lit my back and my hamstrings up. I haven't done these in years. I haven't had access to one for a while. This finally came in this weekend. I put it together yesterday after I got done training. I finally got it put together and everything. And so I wanted to use it today. Again, new angle. This gives me a lot more tools for the low back and hamstrings. Okay. We can't have too many tools for that. Plus, The glute ham raises make my hamstrings cramp later in the day. I don't want to do them every lower workout. All right, I want to make sure the low back and hamstrings are strong. So again, now I've got multiple angles of things that I can work here. And those were solid. I mean, just with that 10-pound plate, because of, again, the novel training response, I was getting a little crampy from that. Then I decided to finish off by just supersetting, because again, I can, because they use different muscles, my belt squats with reverse hypers, both traction-based exercises. Again, recovery. And this is where I did the most volume, right? Because we ramped up to our heavy 5 on the high bar. We did 3 sets of safety bar, 3 sets of hyperextensions, and then we put the real volume in here. I bumped weight 5 pounds on both of these today versus last time. So we're going to slowly work these up. But 5 by 10 with the belt squat, 5 by 10 with the reverse hyper, and supersetting them. And again, this is very easy on recovery. These are challenging while doing them because, again, I'm doing them back to back. I'm basically doing the belt squat, then turning off the camera, moving it, and then jumping over 30 seconds later and knocking out that reverse hyper. Okay, and these are challenging sets. So again, good for my GPP, good for time management during the workout, and it lets me get a lot of work volume, like a lot of training density in right at the end with exercises that put my back in traction. They're easy on recovery. Okay, because the other stuff is harder on recovery. The squatting and deadlifting is hard on recovery. It's one reason I'm not doing many good mornings right now. I love good mornings, but I'm doing volume work on squats and deadlifts after the heavier work. Okay, that's a lot of axial loading. I'm trying to train with pretty high volumes to maximize hypertrophy. It's not working. It's not going to work to do a lot of that. Again, if I want to do this much supplemental work. Now, if I was going to come in and only do 1 or 2 exercises after the main thing, I could get away with good mornings. Because some of my clients would be like, Coach, you prescribe stuff like that to me. It's like, yeah, but you're not doing 3 exercises after your squats or deadlifts. Right? You're not doing 3 exercises. I could take an intermediate lifter and just have them squat, deadlift, and good morning. And their numbers will climb if I program it correctly. If we program it correctly. Now, some of them might need some extra work, and they probably will. Maybe one other weak point lift. But I'm not going to have them do 3 or 4 because I'm going to ramp this up. I want to start messing with some cleans. I thought about it. I'm like, no, I don't want to mess with it today. I will eventually start working some cleans in, power cleans on these days also. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll create a lot more hate and give something people to complain and bitch about how terrible, how they don't like my power cleans. Just like people who then they see my back, they don't like the way I do a chin up or a pull up or any exercise, right? And then they see me shirtless and see my back. And it's like, come on guys, you are not qualified to critique my back training. Your back doesn't look like a professional bodybuilder's back. You probably aren't qualified to discuss what I'm doing wrong with my back work. Just calling it like it is. My back is pretty jacked. And I don't always do things the way that everyone thinks that I should. So, you know, same when the power cleans come up. They're going to be there as a hypertrophy and explosiveness tool, not there to build a beautiful power clean, to go to the Olympics. So it'll be fun to do it just to watch people complain and give people something else to bitch about, if for no other reason. But back to the point of these. Slight weight increases, 5 by 10 on both of them. Doing the superset was really good for getting my heart rate up, getting my GPP up. Again, works well with me doing sled drags and stuff again, because I need to stay in shape. We need to be in shape. We need to be fit, right? And I don't mean losing body fat. I'm obviously continuing to get leaner. But I mean actual cardiovascular fitness. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.